I just did a video on answering the question about acquiring a graphic designer, or saying that you should find the right person to do graphic design. And actually, you should find the right person to help in all the pillars that I talk about for a brand, for each of those integral parts of really what's going to make your company function. So in sales, in marketing, product development, and or design, it's important to have, you know, people that are solely dedicated to that craft within your brand. And I realized everyone's going to ask me this question, which is, where do I find a good graphic designer? So I thought I'd just shoot it immediately. Your graphic designers, there's a lot of them out there now. And of course, I know people that can just murder it all day. I mean, I know graphic designers, and well, really, I mean, at that stage in their career, they're really art directors. So they've definitely, sent the marching orders, but they themselves have been in the trenches and done their time in terms of producing, jamming out, anywhere from 2 to 6 graphics a day, depending on what type of styling you're working on. But the problem with a lot of the people that are watching my channel are green. They're very new startups, and they have no budget. So, I know a guy that can, that can produce a line very quickly, that's banging, and that has tons of experience in sellable graphics, but you can't afford them. Like, you don't have, I mean, those people get jobs. It's sort of like, with me when I'm consulting people. There's only so much I can do, and then if and you really don't even need, for the most part, the people on my channel can't really use really well my services till they're much farther along in their company. Like, it needs to be matured to a certain point where you can really use a person like me to consult or be a creative director, in a fuller sense. I mean, I consult with a ton of smaller companies, of course, but even then, I'm kind of picky about who I work with, because I need to know that there's going to be potential in that brand. There's always a trade-off that needs to happen. The good thing about finding a graphic designer is I feel like there's a lot of different marketplaces where you could find the right one, but obviously I want to say, go to trade shows, go to streetwear events, and get business cards. Find out who the people are that are working at some of the brands you like. Another thing, which is super easy, is get on Facebook and ask people if they know graphic designers. Now, you're gonna get flooded with candidates and people and friends of friends and this and or, oh, I'm starting to do that, or I do that on the side, or whatever. I would recommend you be as specific as possible. So I would put up brands that you want to sell by, or that you use them as reference points. Like, I like Ruka, or I like the Hundreds, or you really minimalist and clean. Like, I like Black Scale, I like Commune, I like, whatever brand you like, Crooks and Castles. I mean, whatever that is, like, and make sure that I think it's important that graphic designer understands the culture. A person can kind of have the technical skill, but the toughest part about fashion in general is really being able to hone in on what the person wants to see. A lot of times when I'm talking to someone, like, clean to me means something completely different when you say clean. Like, oh, I want a really clean line. When I hear a clean line, like, I have my visual of what I believe that is, and that's completely different usually than or not completely different, but what I'm describing is, a lot of times there's just a process in terms of getting on the same page when it comes to what the visuals need to look like. And that's why when you work with a graphic designer, there's going to be several rounds of changes and adjustments and stuff like that, because you're trying to figure out what your vision is a little bit with their vision. And so, yeah. So go to events, find people, get business cards, and then check out their portfolios online, or just be familiar with their work. If you already see they're doing dope freelance work for whatever company that is, and they're the right person for you at that moment, yeah, you gotta find a way to work with that person. Also, just drop something on Facebook. I would say Craigslist, but I mean, Craigslist, you'll get crazy people and people that are, they just, you'll get, animation portfolios. It's like, no, man, I'm looking for a graphic designer, but I think Facebook is a good one too. You'll get a ton of resumes, whittle it down, and then talk to those people and see what you can work out, or just let them know how much you have to work with, and so on and so forth. Comments, questions, anything to add to the conversation, you already know, please drop them down below. Add me on Twitter and Instagram, and here's what I'm gonna say, guys. Can you add me on Facebook on /designer Jon Phenom, because I'm trying to centralize all my DMs and messages and replies to my Facebook designer Jon Phenom account, just so I can centralize it, because I have a lot of shit going on, and I feel bad when I stumble onto someone's reply and it's like a year old. I do want to help as many people as possible. Obviously, I have a schedule, and it's gnarly, and I don't get paid for this. You know what I'm saying? Like my Facebook page and correspond with me there if you have specific questions. Hope that helps. See you on the next one. I love you all. Peace.